Hey there, Bob from Oregon's. That's empty. I don't know why I'm carrying it. Bob from Oregon's Constant Gardener. Welcome to the OCGFAM show to you, my YouTube buddies. What's going on? Let me know in the comments. We'll talk about it. It'll be fun. It's the Monday show. Am I talking really fast? Let's just get right into it. I got a list. The Monday show. Hey there, list. Comments. Viewer comments. Let's get the viewer comments out here. And we're going to answer some questions. These aren't questions like we do with Scott. These are just housekeeping type stuff. So let's just get into it. First one is from Space Drews, a couple days ago. Sorry for the delay. He says, I love watching you guys together. This was talking about the episode with me and Scott, one of the episodes. He says, entertaining and informative. Very cool, thank you. Any recommended reading for someone who's relatively new to growing and interested in the science? Well, if you'd asked me this 6 months ago, I would have said heck yes. And I'm still going to say yes. I want to show you these. This is Jeff Lowenfels. This is the teeming with microbes, the teeming with nutrients, and the teeming with fungi. Now, I would have called these the Bible 6 months ago. And now these are just as good of books, just as informative, just as useful. But I think what I would say now is back then I felt like, oh, this is it. Because what he did, Jeff Lowenfels is a very good gardener, a very experienced gardener, writes a column about gardening, but he's more of a reporter of growing than, he's a grower himself, but what he does is he's taken the science of a few different people, Elaine Ingham, Dr. Mike Amaranthus, taken their stuff and tried to make it more readable and enjoyable and digestible. Very valuable stuff. Now, I'm not talking Jeff down. He's done some amazing work, and he is the patron saint of gardening. But what I would say now that I wouldn't have said 6 months ago is I would look at these books, but I would use them as a roadmap to going further, to figuring out what's good for you, to figuring out what works for you, as opposed to just taking this as the gospel. So that's all I wanted to say about that. And so yeah, Space Drews, I would check out these books. I would start with Teeming with Microbes and just go on through. Just go on through. This one might be, I don't know. Just go on through them in order. They're excellent books. And Jeff Lowenfels, we had him here a while ago. He's a very cool dude and a big part of taking growing farther into a more scientific but also more spiritual place. So that's that. Let me get the next one. Ty Felon. Ty, what's up? Bob, a off-topic question. What ppm scale does nectar go by, 500 or 700? Have you guys used the Blue Lab Plus meter yet? So the plus meter, yeah, we'll get Christopher from on the to talk about those. Come up tomorrow, next day, somewhere in there, talk about those meters. I think it's a pretty good meter. I think that's the one you're talking about that does both the ppm and the pH. Yeah, good stuff. But I'll show you that this is the one I use. I use I use this one for pH, and then I use this one for my ppms. And if you haven't looked at these before, they've got two different scales on them. They've got a 500 ppm scale and a 700 ppm scale. And those are just arbitrary numbers. It doesn't matter which one you use, just knowing which one you use. But for the sake of making it simple for everyone, we've just kind of settled on 700. It's the 700 scale. So if you're sending Scott some numbers or talking with other people, you can use either one. But we prefer the 700, so we're all on the same page. So that's that. Let's get to the questions again. Carrie James Majeski. Hey there. He says, this is my favorite OCG episode. Now, this is important. I think this is important. This is talking about the episode, and I'll put a link down there that we did. What was it? I don't know the number of it, but it was how often do you water was the topic of the episode. It was just me talking, and the me talking part wasn't maybe so good. The part that was so good was all the stuff in the comments. Let me read this thing here. This is my favorite OCG episode. I've watched it about 5 times and keep reading the comments. For those like me, you might like this video. I found it relevant to so much of what Bob is asking and folks discussing. And it's not the end of the story by any means, but I thought OCGFAM might find this helpful. Peace, everyone. And he's got a video. I haven't looked at this video, but he's got a link to someone else's video, so that's pretty cool. And that's the thing I wanted to talk about was all that. That was a really, really popular episode. So I feel like we touched on something. We got a little spark, but we need to make a fire out of it. So that's what I want to ask you about, as I'd like you to check out that episode and the links. Yeah, if you watched it, you don't have to watch it again, but look at the comments. Where do we go from there? How do we take it from what's the question to refining that and taking it to something that can be useful to all of us? A bigger thing. I don't know. I've hit on this a couple times where I've been asking you about this, and I don't know exactly where I'm going with it. But I know that there's a bigger discussion in there and a bigger thing that we can all do together. So I'm hoping we can kind of work on that in the comments on this episode. That's it for the questions and comments. This week, what's going on is we're going to be working on the comprehensive feeding regimen. We're going to be doing a feed, tea, feed, flush. I don't know. We don't have enough days to do all those, but we're going to do some of them. We're going to hit a feed, a flush, a feed, a microbial day, and all that, kind of get those in there. And then on Friday, we'll have Scott. We're going to be talking with Scott, doing some more viewer questions. So if you got questions for Scott, get them in the comments between now and probably Wednesday or so. It's a little late if we do them on Thursday because we usually film that on Thursday. Get those questions in there and we'll answer some questions on Friday. And then the rest of the week we're going to be working on the comprehensive feeding regimen. That's it. That's the show for today. I love you. I'll see you tomorrow. For more information about it, hey, we got a new sign finally. Very cool. For more information about anything on today's show, go to our website, OCGFAM.com. And if you buy anything while you're there, use the code FAM20. It's going to save you 20%, and it's a lot of fun. It's the Monday show. It's the Monday show. 'Cause it's Monday, and we're having a show. See you tomorrow.